Steve Moran here with Senior Housing Forum, and it may look a little weird where I'm at right now. I'm actually doing this in a conference room at a Kaiser hospital in Northern California. My dad's in the hospital for a little procedure, sort of unexpected, and so it's a little echoey, and I hope I don't get kicked out of the conference room because I just found an empty room and I'm using. I am talking this afternoon with Keven Bennema, who is the CEO of Charter Senior Living. And a few days ago, I got this press release about this brand new community that sounds like nothing that's ever been done before. There are a whole bunch of things I loved about the press release, but the one thing that really intrigued me is the idea that you're going to do sort of a WeWorks kind of space as part of this bigger complex, right? Is that right?
Yeah, that's exactly right. That would fall under the innovation center that will be a part of essentially our VIA center. That's probably phase 2 of this particular development. The announcement that you saw was essentially the official groundbreaking of our 190 unit, 196 bed IL/AL memory care. Essentially, that construction started five and a half months ago, back in November, essentially. And we're building approximately 114 independent living units, 50 assisted living units, and we have 26 memory care / SCALF units, but we can hold 32 residents. So that's essentially phase 1 of what I'll call 4 phases of a the concept is branded as WellPoint. Is the overall branding of the actual total project or campus that we're so excited to create, and the first phase is Charter at WellPoint.
So talk to me a little bit. Well, actually, I'm going to back up a little bit. So talk to me a little bit about Charter Senior Living, how big you are, where you're located, maybe your secret sauce.
No, we're currently we've been in operations. We'll be in operations actually 3 years. May 1. We currently have 14 communities in 9 states. We just opened our first development in Sylvania, Ohio. At the end of actually January 21st is when we took our first residents. And currently, we're about 50% occupied in that community after 3 months. So
wow, that's terrific.
We're very proud. That's we just are so honored to provide care and support to that community. We actually just had our unveiling, our grand opening there yesterday. So
wow,
had about 120 people, and it was just a wonderful event. So ultimately. We think we're a different kind of company. I mean, as I said, Jane Sallerson is our COO, and she's also a part owner. My wife and I started the company 3 years ago. We've been in the business for 26 years, and I started out as a caregiver. And ultimately, our core value and really our real business plan with Charter was figure out a way to minimize the amount of corporate infrastructure, treat employees very well, and then figure out a way to reduce turnover. And ultimately, if you treat your employees well, we believe you're going to treat your residents well. And it has been our success formula. We've certainly we've had some bumps in the road over the last 3 years, but we have a very strong management team. We currently have 10 senior management team members on our team, and each is located very strategically within a couple hours drive or a couple hours of a flight to their particular their particular span of control, if you will. We only operate in the Midwest, Southeast. What I'll call we're very excited about Tennessee, and we have a community in Baltimore. And we're looking to grow out the Northeast. So we're really concentrated east of the Mississippi, and we're really focused on being a boutique operator. I mean, we've been very fortunate to be able to scale quickly because of what I'll call our virtual back of the house. I mean, we don't have a corporate office per se, but we have operating and sales and HR and IT systems that are all fully integrated and are very user-friendly, and they're all internet-based. So we don't have any headcount devoted to that. So ultimately, the boutique nature is what we're really sticking to. We've turned down a number of opportunities, but we have some really exciting things happening, and we're just really building a great culture, and we're really excited about that.
Well, I love hearing that, because from my perspective, the only thing that really counts is culture. And I think if you get the culture right, occupancy follows and profits follow. So I love that. Just really gets me excited. So let's talk a little bit more about this new community and the other phases and what it's going to look like and feel like when it's all done.
Yeah, absolutely. As I said earlier, the groundbreaking that we just did last Tuesday, or that the announcement came out, was for our 190 unit, 196 bed independent living, assisted living memory care that is being built right in the Hampton Cove area of Huntsville. It's a beautiful part of Huntsville. We're building right along the Robert Trent Jones Trail golf course. That was a site that was selected by our partner Life Centers, based out of Franklin, Tennessee. And I can tell you, Steve, there's a lot of opportunities to develop out there, and there's competition everywhere. But I think we found a site that just complements everything that we're trying to create with this, with our WellPoint concept and essentially the four phases we're creating. So we've been under construction now for 5.5 months, almost 6 months. We had tons of news. We had the local mayor. We had all kinds of local political figures, and we had a lot of actually potential residents that came out to really ask a lot of questions. It's just so exciting when you can involve the entire community. Hats off to our public relations company for putting it together. A guy by the name of Jeffrey Orey. Jeffrey is based out of New Orleans, and we use Jeffrey for a number of marketing types of events. That was a very exciting morning and afternoon.
Sounds like it.
So essentially that we start our pre-lease on that community in July. And we expect to open the doors May 1st. You know how construction goes. That could, bump a month to hopefully forward, not backwards. But
yeah.
So the second phase of this project is called the VIA at WellPoint. And, ultimately the VIA is meant to be a very unique environment. I don't want to use the term medical office building, but it would be similar. That is going to provide what I'll call very cutting-edge health and wellness concepts. It's not going to be a senior housing at all. It's going to essentially offer primary care health services, wellness coaching. We're going to be able to offer just a very unique gym, fitness, rehab environment. We'll offer things like hydrotherapy, group exercise, a lot of alternative therapies like yoga, and we're going to have possibly things like hyperbaric chambers, the Himalayan salt caves. I mean, we're really looking to do next generational health and wellness to not only to the local market, but also as a destination for people nationally and internationally, because we're already getting that kind of an interest. The particular medical component of that is going to be in partnership with a very large what I'll call provider of these services in many major hospital systems around the country. It's not that I don't want to tell you who they are, but we're just finalizing our agreement with them.
I get it. So
when we're going to make another announcement once we sign them up. but that the amount of credibility is going to be it's just going to be fantastic. And then ultimately, the Hutchinson Group, which is essentially our consultant partner that is really helping to shape the programming of how we're going to offer service packages, health and wellness packages, and then the tie-in to the whole dining aspect of health and wellness. It's going to be, look, this is such an opportunity to offer to existing residents that don't really have any particular ailments or, health and wellness yet. Though that particular customer is the primary customer from the standpoint that their parents, the adult child, their parents are going to be looking for the senior component. So it's this just really unique health and wellness continuum. That particular VIA Center is also going to have an innovation center that's going to have that kind of WeWorks concept. We've talked about even us officing out of that, and really collaborate as an incubator with just kind of how Charter was started with the support of some very generous individuals and companies that helped us get started, and we want to be able to offer those opportunities to help out aspiring companies that have a good business plan. And Huntsville is such a thriving part of Alabama. I mean, as you know, there's some major industries in that area, and you have a ton of professionals, and the climate is, hard to beat. So the phase 3 of essentially of this whole VIA concept is going to be our hotel. So we're actually adding this particular golf course, the Robert Trent Jones Golf Course, is the only one on the trail that doesn't have a hotel. So we also have partnered with a very high-end hotel operator that's going to essentially, we're going to be able to combine that hotel experience, that hospitality experience into our VIA Center, and also support that destination location where people can stay with us, similar to the spa programs you have at the Canyon Ranch or the Miravals, and those wonderful programs which the Hutchinson Group was very much a part of. So you can spend a day, a week, 2 weeks at the hotel getting these services. We are also going to partner with Robert Trent Jones, the golf course, to really put together some creative, imagine that, a creative golfing health and wellness experience. Yeah. And we're going to tie in some cool rehab that's going to incorporate, and attract, golfers that are going through rehab, maybe knee, hip types of rehab, and we're going to try to make the rehab process fun. I mean, imagine that.
Yeah, because most people I know who go through rehab do it because they know they need to and because it's important, but they hate it. So that's awesome.
And then the final just to go back, that would be called the guest house. That's how we're ending the quote unquote hotel component. And then the final component will be the villas. We're looking to build roughly 40 independent living / coach home villas that are going to be permanent homes. We're considering making a few of those rental, but most of those are going to be actual homes that you will purchase. And the idea is that you can, not only, can you enjoy all these other aspects of what the whole WellPoint concept is bringing, but you can live in this environment. You could have this lifestyle 24 hours a day. And then as you need various levels of services, they're there at your beck and call. And it's just this whole concept of a community that's invigorating, focusing on wellness, and as you need more services, they're there for you. And it's all about the promotion of independence. look, I could go on and on about, I think you could kind of see how easy it's going to be to market something like this when you package all of this together. So, but it's a big undertaking. And so we think that, by the actual VIA Center, is probably going to take about 6 to 8 months. We are to construct. We're hoping to break ground in the VIA Center in the late third quarter, and hoping to open that by summer of next year, if possible. That may be a little aggressive. And then the hotel hopefully can open toward the end of 2020, and we should hopefully get those villas in the ground. Hopefully by the end of this year, at least start getting like a spec villa together. This is all, again, along the Robert Trent Jones Golf Course. It's literally right there in front of the Hampton Cove community, and you can Google all that area. I mean, it sits between two beautiful mountain ranges. It's you'd love it, Steve.
I'm just saying, it sounds like I want to move down there from California. So, well, I'll tell you what I really love about this. So, as I'm sure you're aware, day before yesterday, Nick released this middle market study. And I know this isn't really a middle market project, but one of the things that continues to sort of percolate through this whole discussion of how do we, take senior living to the next generation is the idea that we need to be having people like you who are just thinking about creative ways to create brand new or significantly differentiated product in the marketplace to attract people who maybe wouldn't come to a more traditional environment. And clearly what you're doing here is a big step in that direction of just really reimagining and rethinking the marketplace. And so I really appreciate that. That's really, really cool to be able to do that. So I hope I can go visit one of these days.
Yeah, no, and look, I can tell you right now, just to give you an idea of pricing, look, the Huntsville market, there's very strong demographics. There's some considerable wealth there, but, through our partnership with DMK, who, by the way, has been a fantastic partner. They're the general contractor. They're a major investor, and they are big believers in charter and in our Life Centers partnership. I mean, we're looking, and again, I'm not going to use the term affordable, but when you look at the pricing that we're going to put out for independent living in particular, look, it's expensive, but this is not, we're not talking $6,000, $7,000, $8,000 a month. I mean, right. Assisted living, we think also is going to be very reasonable. And then, we're going to offer 24-hour nursing, which is, obviously, the staffing is a huge component of your expense structure. But I mean, we're going to have staffing ratios that are going to far exceed what we are expected to provide. And then our memory care environment, and again, I'm not going to use the term affordable, but it's going to be very reasonably priced, and it's going to incorporate our Flourish program, which is our memory care support program that we just got trademarked last Monday.
Oh, congratulations again! Yeah,
couldn't be more excited about that. So, and look, we're there's a lot of options that we work with the aid and attendant program. We work with Elder Life. We're going to provide some shared accommodations that still allow you to feel like, you're going to be in a private environment and have that dignity. Because a lot of times people think that, well, if I got to share a unit, then that's somehow going to, not be what I want. But I'm telling you, I think what we're creating, and we'll continue to update you. And, I applaud you for these, for these sessions. And I mean, I've watched a number of the sessions, and I mean, it's just awesome to hear what everyone else is doing. I mean, we're all trying to help people and certainly try to make it as affordable as possible.
Yeah, no, I really love it. And I think that what we'll begin, I think in the next few, clearly we're in sort of some turbulent waters in the industry right now, but I think we're just seeing the tiny edge of, but I think what we're beginning to see is an emergence of better product, better way of delivering services. And I think ultimately it will help to grow the market size, will appeal to more people. We'll start, I actually anticipate seeing the average age of entrants to start creeping back down as we create things that are more active and more appealing to more people. So very exciting stuff, and it's really neat to get a chance to hear about what the part that you're playing in it. So I do appreciate that.
It's my pleasure. It's my pleasure.
Great. Thank you very much.